Now let's see this constants. So whenever you write a number like this 1 2 3 4, you have to understand that the type that it will take, it will be classified as is int. Now why should you understand this one is, if you have let us say an expression like this, a by b, let's say plus c. Okay, now what will be the result of this expression? Will it be int, or will it be float, or will it be double? That depends on what is the type of a, what is the type of b, and what is the type of c, right? That is why the output, the final output, the type of the final output of a arithmetic operation or an arithmetic expression will depend on what are the types of individual variables you have in it, right? Now coming to these variables a, b and c, you will definitely know their types just by looking at their declarations. But then if you have a constant involved, right, then depending on the type of the constant, the final result is going to vary. And what is the type of that constant, that you can derive from by looking at this. So if you have simply a number like this, then it will be allocated integer type. And if you have a number followed by L, either small l or capital L, then it will be considered as a long int. Now if you have a number with a decimal point 12.34, then that number will be taken as a float type. If you have a number starting with 0, then this number will be considered as a octal, right? This is a number which is octal, right? And if you have to see the decimal value of it, the decimal value of it will be 3 into 8 plus 7. That is the decimal value of it. Even though it is looking like 37, it is not actually 37. Okay. And now if you have this one 0 followed by x, this means this is actually hexadecimal number, and if you are going to use it in an expression, arithmetic expression, it will be converted into decimal number, and then the decimal number will be taken. Okay. And similarly 0xl, which means this is a hexadecimal and it is a long type. Okay. And if you have character which is in quotes like this, okay, that is a character constant. Now when you are going to use this one in the any numerical expression, then the ASCII value of this one will be taken, of the character will be taken, and it will be used there, right? For example, if you are going to say a plus 10, something like this, then it is going to be 75, right? Why? The ASCII value of a is going to be 65, and therefore 65 plus 10 is 75. Now this is how you can know whenever a constant is present in an expression what type it is, and depending on the type, the output you can see that output is going to depend on that. Fine. Now the second thing is, if we have to save these constants or store this constant somewhere, because if let us say there is a number pi, right, and the pi value is, let's say, 3.14 something, right, and if you are going to use it many times, then it is better you save it somewhere and use it, right? In that case, let's say you are going to use float, the variable name is pi is equal to 3.14. Now what is the problem with this one is, even though this is a constant, which means you don't want this pi to be changed and it should always be 3.14, there is a chance that accidentally someone might again change its value. Let us say pi plus plus, it is allowed, right? Pi equal to pi plus 1 or something like this. If they try to change it, is allowed. But then if you want to keep it as a constant throughout the execution of the program, then while declaring it, you could just add this const. So const is a qualifier, it is a keyword which is a qualifier, which if it is used with any declaration, it will make that particular variable a constant, and whenever anyone tries to change it, it will just throw an error. Okay. So by writing like this, you can declare constants also. Okay. And one other way of having the constants is hash define. If you are going to have hash define pi 3.14, right, by writing like this, you are defining pi to be a 3.14, right? Now what is the difference between these two is, here pi is actually a variable which will be visible in your program, and you can use the value of pi while writing the program, but once you start the program, once you start running the program, pi will still be there. But coming to hash define, this kind, your preprocessor is going to replace every occurrence of pi in the program with 3.14, and so after the preprocessing phase, pi will not exist there. It will simply be replaced with 3.14, right? And whenever you want to refer to the value of pi, if you declare it this way, you have to go to the variable pi and then fetch its value. But then if you are going to replace all the occurrences of pi, the access will be faster, isn't it? So there is no need to go to the variable to get its value, right? So as much as possible, whenever you want to use a constant, you can use these conventions, and if you are going to use the same constant again and again, and if you need to save it, you use hash define this representation. Okay, fine.